Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Listening Practice Hub. My name is Emma, and I'm very happy to spend this time with you today. Before we begin, I want you to take a slow breath. Just one. Let your shoulders relax. Let your mind slow down. You are here in this moment, and this moment is enough. Today, we are going to enjoy a calm, warm, slow-paced story written especially for A1, A2 English learners. You don't need to study anything. You don't need to memorize anything. You just need to listen. Slow, simple, everyday English will do the work for you. In this story, I will take you into my daily life, my quiet mornings, my small routines, the people I meet, and the thoughts I have while walking through the city. Nothing dramatic, nothing stressful, only simple moments filled with gentle emotion and human warmth. And maybe, while listening, you will feel a little closer to me. Maybe you will feel like you know me. Maybe you will imagine the streets I walk on, the coffee shop I visit, the sounds of my neighborhood. And slowly, you will begin to understand English without thinking too much. That is the goal of this entire podcast, to help you learn English the same way we learn our first language, naturally, softly, without fear. So, let me set the scene. It is early morning. The sun is not fully awake yet. The sky is a soft gray, with a tiny touch of pink near the horizon. My window is half open, and a cool breeze enters my room. It smells like fresh rain, even though it has not rained for days. I stretch my arms, rub my eyes, and smile at the quiet beginning of the day. "Good morning, Emma," I whisper to myself. A small ritual I started years ago. It always makes me feel grounded, calm, and ready. I make my bed slowly, smoothing the blankets with my palms. The room is simple. A small shelf with a few books. A wooden table where I keep my notebook, my pen, and my little plant named Olive. Yes, Olive. I talk to the plant sometimes. Not a lot. Just enough to make me feel like I'm not alone in the mornings. After that, I walk to the kitchen. The floor is a little cold, so I step lightly. I prepare warm water with lemon, my favorite morning drink, and while the water heats, I look out the window. Below my apartment, the city is slowly waking up. A woman walks her dog. A man in a blue jacket opens the small bakery on the corner. Two teenagers, probably going to school, laugh at something on a phone screen. Everything feels soft and gentle, like the world is stretching after a long sleep. I take my warm cup in both hands and close my eyes for a moment. The heat spreads into my fingers, my palms, my wrists. I love this little pause. A pause before the day becomes busy. Before emails. Before noise. Before plans. When I open my eyes again, something inside me feels lighter. After drinking, I sit at my small kitchen table and write a few lines in my notebook. Nothing complicated. Just simple thoughts. Today I want to stay calm. Today I want to smile. Today, I want to be kind to myself. When I finish writing, I close the notebook gently. I hear a voice, my neighbor, Mr. Harris, speaking loudly to his cat. "Come on, Daisy. Breakfast time." I smile. Daisy is a very loud cat. Every morning, she makes noises that sound like she is complaining about life. But in a funny way, it reminds me that we all start our mornings differently. I take a deep breath and look at the clock. It is almost time to get ready. Time to choose my clothes, put on my shoes, and walk to the city center for work. But before I leave, I want to talk to you for a moment. Learning a language can sometimes feel heavy. You may feel slow. You may feel tired. You may think you are not improving, but trust me, you are. Every time you listen, every time you repeat, every time you understand even one more word, you are growing. You may not see the progress, but it is there. So today, while you listen to my story, open your heart a little. Let the words enter naturally. Allow the language to flow through your mind like warm sunlight. In this story, you will follow me through a full day. You will hear my conversations. You will learn about my feelings. You will walk with me through quiet streets, talk to my friends, and discover the rhythm of my life. This is not only a podcast. It is a gentle journey, your journey. And now, the day is beginning. The story is starting. And I'm ready to take you with me. Are you ready? Good. Let's go. The morning air feels cool against my skin as I step outside my apartment building. I pull my light jacket a little closer around my shoulders, but not because I'm cold, more because I like the feeling of soft fabric when I begin my day. The street is quiet, still waking up, still stretching like a sleepy child. I take my first step slowly, letting my body warm up, letting my breathing fall into a natural rhythm. I always start my day with a short walk. It doesn't matter if I am tired or busy, or even running late. This small walk is my promise to myself. As I walk, I hear the gentle sound of the bakery sign being unlocked. The bakery owner, Mrs. Cole, is already inside. Her lights are on, and her silhouette moves behind the foggy glass window. She sees me and opens the door slightly. "Good morning, Emma," she calls softly. "Good morning," I answer with a little wave. The smell of fresh bread floats through the air. Warm, soft, sweet. Even if I'm not hungry yet, the scent makes my stomach feel alive. A new day always begins beautifully when bread is being baked nearby. I continue down the street, past the tall sycamore trees that line the sidewalk. Their leaves are still green, but I know in a few weeks they will turn golden and fall to the ground like quiet rain. I imagine myself walking through a sea of yellow leaves, listening to them crunch under my shoes. Sometimes I like to dream about simple things. Small, soft moments. A bus stops near me. The doors open with a long, tired sound. A man steps out, holding a cup of coffee in one hand and a newspaper in the other. He looks like he has already lived an entire day, even though it is only morning. Our eyes meet for a second, and we exchange a polite nod. People's mornings are different. Some begin fast, some begin slow, and some, like mine, begin with silence. As I turn the corner, I see a familiar figure. My elderly neighbor, Mrs. Green, sitting on the bench in front of her building. She is wearing her usual blue sweater, the one with tiny white flowers stitched into the sleeves. "Good morning, dear," she says with a bright smile. I sit beside her for a moment. "Morning, Mrs. Green. You're up early." "Oh, I never sleep much," she laughs. "Life is short. No time to waste sleeping." I smile. She always says that. It makes her sound full of energy, but I know she wakes early because she likes the quiet too. "How are you feeling today?" I ask. "Peaceful," she replies. "Days like this remind me of my childhood. I grew up in a small town, far from the city. Mornings always smelled like bread and wet grass." Her voice softens, as if her mind is walking through old memories. Then she looks at me kindly. "And you, Emma?" "Big day at work." I shake my head lightly. "Just a normal day." "Normal days are good," she says. "They are the days we remember later and think, yes, life was simple then." I love talking to her. She always sees life in a gentle way. Her words make me feel calm, like the world is not as complicated as it seems. "I should keep walking," I say after a few minutes. "I want to reach the park before the sun gets too bright." "Go, go," she waves her hand. "Enjoy the fresh air for me too." I stand up and say goodbye, then continue down the street. My steps feel softer now, lighter, as if her warmth stayed with me. A few streets later, I reach the park. It's not large, but it's filled with small moments of beauty. Old wooden benches, small birds jumping between branches, children's swings that move slightly in the wind. I walk slowly on the gravel path and listen to the tiny stones crunch under my shoes. There is a small group of runners passing by, breathing loudly. They wave at me. "Hi, Emma," one of them says. It's Daniel, a friend from work. He runs every morning before the office opens. "Good morning," I call out. "How many kilometers today?" "Just 5, he laughs. "I'm lazy today." I laugh softly. If this is lazy, then I'm extremely lazy. He gives me a thumbs up and keeps running, his footsteps fading into the distance. I continue walking until I reach my favorite place in the park, a small wooden bridge over a quiet pond. The water is still, almost like a mirror. I can see the reflection of the sky, the trees, and even my own face. I lean on the railing and watch a pair of ducks glide across the surface. The pond is peaceful. Time feels slower here. My mind becomes clear. As I stand there, I think about the things I want to do today. Nothing big, nothing heavy, just simple intentions. I want to speak kindly. I want to move slowly. I want to breathe deeply. While I'm thinking, I hear a small voice behind me. "Emma?" I turn around. It's Maya, a young girl who lives in my building. She is holding a yellow balloon and wearing mismatched socks. "Hi, Maya," I say softly. "Where is your mom?" She points behind her. "My mom is buying coffee. She said I can watch the ducks." I smile and lean down slightly. "Do you like ducks?" She nods with big, excited eyes. They look like they're dancing. I look back at the water. She's right. The ducks move with a slow, gentle rhythm, almost like music. After a moment, her mother calls her name, and Maya runs back happily. I take another deep breath. The air smells like morning sunshine and grass. Then I look at the time. It's time to walk toward the city center. Time to step into the busier part of my day. But I don't feel rushed. I feel ready. I leave the park slowly, one peaceful step at a time, and the real story of my day begins. The streets become a little louder as I leave the quiet park behind me. Not too loud, just a gentle rise in sound, like a soft wave touching the shore. Cars move slowly along the road. People walk with purpose now, their steps quicker, their minds already thinking about work, school, or daily tasks. I walk toward the city center, following the familiar path I take every morning. The buildings grow taller around me, their windows shining with reflected sunlight. A soft golden color spreads across the streets as the sun rises higher. I pass a small bookstore with a green sign. The owner, Mr. Wilson, is inside arranging stacks of new books. He looks up, sees me through the window, and waves. I wave back. He always begins his day by touching the covers of the books gently, almost like greeting old friends. Sometimes, on quiet weekends, I stop by and ask him for recommendations. He always chooses a book that fits my mood perfectly. As I continue walking, I reach the main square. It's a busy place, but at this hour it still feels gentle. A fountain stands in the center, its water flowing smoothly over white stone. The sound is relaxing, like soft rain. Pigeons walk around the edges, dipping their heads to drink water. I sit on a nearby bench for a moment. I like to pause here and just watch people. It makes me feel connected to the city, like I'm part of its morning story. A young couple walks by, holding hands. They speak quietly, smiling at each other. A man in a suit checks his watch and walks fast, almost running. 3 women talk loudly and laugh, their voices echoing through the square. A child tries to chase a bird, but the bird hops away at the last second. Life moves in many different directions at the same time. I love watching it. After a few minutes, I stand up and move toward the bus stop. I'm not taking the bus today, but I always pass by it. There is a small coffee shop next to it, my favorite one, with a bright red door and a chalkboard that says, "Good morning." Fresh coffee, warm pastries, happy hearts. The smell of roasted coffee beans flows out every time someone opens the door. I step inside and feel the familiar warmth of the place. Soft music plays in the background, a calm guitar melody. "Good morning, Emma." It's Sarah, the barista, smiling with her usual cheerful energy. "Morning, Sarah," I say. "Busy today?" "Not yet," she says. "But give it one more hour. The morning storm is coming." I laugh softly. Then I came at the perfect time. She begins preparing my usual drink without asking, warm latte with a little cinnamon on top. While she works, I look around the shop. There are only 2 other people inside, an older man reading a newspaper and a student with headphones typing on a laptop. When my drink is ready, I hold the warm cup and take the first slow sip. The taste is soft and comforting. It feels like a hug for my mind. "You look peaceful today," Sarah says as she wipes the counter. "I had a nice walk this morning," I reply. "It helped me start the day with calm energy." She nods. Walking is magic. People run everywhere, but they forget that walking can fix half of their worries. I smile at her words. She is young, but she understands life deeply. After a few minutes, I leave the shop and continue my path toward work. The city is fully awake now. Bicycles pass by quickly. More cars appear on the road. Shops raise their metal shutters. The sound of conversation grows louder. I walk past a little flower stall on the corner. Buckets filled with bright flowers stand outside. Sunflowers, tulips, roses, daisies. A small woman with short hair stands behind the flowers, tying a ribbon around a bouquet. "Good morning, Emma," she says with excitement. Her name is Lila. Her flower stall is like a piece of sunshine dropped into the middle of the city. "Morning, Lila. Your flowers look beautiful today." "They are fresh," she says proudly. "Straight from the farm this morning." One red tulip catches my eye. It stands taller than the others, its color deep and warm. "Do you want it?" she asks before I even speak. "You always look at the tulips." I laugh softly. She knows me too well. "Yes," I say. but just one. I don't want to carry a whole bouquet. She wraps the tulip carefully in thin paper and gives it to me. Have a soft day, Emma. You too, I say, holding the flower gently. I continue walking, and now the city feels different. Not louder, not busier, just more alive, more awake, more real. My hand holds the tulip, my other hand holds the warm cup, and inside my chest there is a soft feeling, the feeling of being part of something bigger than myself. The office building is only a few streets away now. As I approach it, I see the glass doors shining under the morning sun. Before I enter, I pause for a moment. I look up at the sky, now bright blue, and I breathe in slowly. This is the beginning of my day. A simple beginning, a gentle beginning, but somehow it feels full of meaning. And as I push open the doors, I know the story is only just starting. When I step into the office building, the air feels different. Outside, the world is open and wide. Inside, everything is organized, planned, and structured. The floor is shiny. The walls are white. The sound of my footsteps echoes softly in the hallway. I walk toward the elevator and press the button. While I wait, I look at my reflection in the metal doors. I see my tired eyes, but I also see something else, a quiet strength. Days can be long, but I know I can move through them, one moment at a time. The elevator door opens with a soft sound. Inside, there is quiet music playing, a simple piano melody. I step in and press the button for the 4th floor. When the doors open again, I am greeted by a familiar scene. A long corridor, soft carpet, glass doors leading to different offices. On the wall, there is a big picture of the city at night, full of lights. I walk into my office area. It is an open space with desks, plants, and computers. A few of my colleagues are already there. Good morning, Emma, says Daniel, the same friend I saw running in the park earlier. He is drinking water and looking at his screen. Good morning, I reply. How was your run? Good, he smiles. It woke me up. I feel alive now. I feel alive because of coffee, I say with a small laugh, raising my cup. He laughs too. Different fuel, same result. I walk to my desk, which is near the window. I place my bag on the floor, set the tulip carefully in a small glass beside my computer, and sit down. The tulip stands straight, its red color bright against the simple white desk. It makes the space feel warmer, more human. On my screen, new emails are waiting. I move the mouse, take a deep breath, and begin. Work is not always exciting, but it is part of life. I answer messages, read documents, write small reports. I listen to colleagues talking about numbers, plans, and deadlines. Sometimes I enjoy the routine, the small tasks, the clear instructions. Other times, I feel like I am moving inside a slow, endless circle. But today, I decide to stay present, to do each small thing with attention. As I work, I hear two people talking behind me. Hey, Emma, says a soft voice. It is Mia, one of my closest friends at the office. She has kind eyes and a gentle smile. I turn my chair toward her.
Mia.
How are you today? She sits on the edge of my desk, holding a cup of tea. I am okay, she says. A little tired. I didn't sleep well. What happened? I ask. She sighs softly. My little brother called me late at night. He is stressed about his exams. I stayed on the phone with him for a long time. I nod. You have a big heart. He is lucky to have you. She smiles, but her eyes still look heavy. Sometimes, she says, I wish I could do more for people. I want to fix everything, but I can't. I think for a moment. Then I say slowly, you don't have to fix everything. You just have to be there. Sometimes, being there is enough. She looks at me with a warm expression. You always say the right thing, Emma. I laugh softly. Not always, but I try. We share a quiet moment, just looking at the tulip on my desk. It's beautiful, she says. Where did you get it? From Lila's flower stall, I answer. Just one tulip. Enough to make the day softer.
Mia nods.
I think I'll buy one on my way home. After she returns to her desk, I continue working. The hours pass slowly, but gently. I type, read, listen, and move between small tasks. I drink the last of my coffee. I stretch my shoulders. I stand up a few times to walk around the office and rest my eyes. At mid-morning, we have a short meeting. We all sit around a big table. Our manager, Mr. Lewis, is at the front of the room. Good morning, everyone, he says. His voice is calm but serious. I know we have a lot of work this week, but I want us to remember something important. We are a team. We support each other. No one carries everything alone. His words touch something inside me. Sometimes we forget that we are not alone with our tasks, our thoughts, our worries. During the meeting, we discuss projects, plans, and future ideas. I share a small suggestion, and to my surprise, Mr. Lewis nods and writes it down. That's a good point, Emma, he says. Let's try that. A warm feeling moves through me. I am quiet most of the time, but when I speak, it seems to matter. I feel seen. After the meeting, I return to my desk with a lighter heart. The tulip seems to glow even more in the gentle daylight. Around noon, it is lunchtime. I close my laptop and stand up. Mia walks over to me. Lunch, she asks. Yes, I smile. Let's go. We walk to the small cafeteria in the building. The smell of soup and fresh bread fills the air. People stand in line holding trays, talking quietly. We choose simple food, soup, salad, and a piece of bread. Then we sit by the window where we can see the city below. Outside, people cross the street, carry bags, talk on phones. Inside, everything feels softer, slower. So, Mia says between small bites, "What are you doing after work today?" "I don't know yet," I answer. "Maybe a short walk again. Maybe some reading. Maybe just sitting and doing nothing." "That sounds perfect," she smiles. Doing nothing is also doing something. It is resting. I nod.
Yes.
Rest is also part of life. We fall into a comfortable silence. We do not need many words. Our friendship feels quiet and deep, like a calm lake. After lunch, we return to our desks. The afternoon begins.
People speak less.
The office becomes more focused. Fingers move on keyboards. Eyes watch screens. Time passes in a smooth, slow line. Several times, I look at the tulip on my desk. It reminds me that even in a normal day, beauty can exist in small places. And as the afternoon light changes, I feel a soft thought forming inside me. Life is not only about big events. It is about these small details. A flower on a desk, a kind word, a shared lunch, a moment of feeling seen. I do not know it yet, but this simple day will lead to a quiet but important evening, a moment of reflection that will stay with me for a long time. But that part of the story comes later. For now, I sit at my desk, breathe in deeply, and continue with my day. The afternoon moves slowly toward its end. The sunlight entering the office becomes softer, warmer, almost golden. It touches the tops of the desks, the plants near the windows, the quiet faces of my coworkers as they finish the last tasks of the day. The office feels calmer now, not empty, not silent, just softer. I close my laptop gently. My hands feel a little tired, but my mind feels clear. Sometimes work exhausts me, but today, it simply filled the time, like a quiet river moving from morning to evening. I stand up and stretch my arms. The tulip on my desk catches the warm evening light. Its color looks deeper now, almost glowing. Goodbye for today, I whisper to it with a small smile. Mia walks over to me, putting her scarf around her neck. Leaving now, she asks. Yes, I say. Time to go home. Enjoy your evening, she smiles. You deserve a peaceful one. You too, I reply. We both do. We exchange a small, warm goodbye before going in different directions. I walk toward the elevator slowly, listening to my footsteps on the carpet. When the doors open, I step inside and press the button for the ground floor. As the elevator moves down, I feel my body relax. The day is ending. The world outside is waiting. When I exit the building, the air greets me with a gentle breeze. The sky is beginning to change, light blue turning into soft pink turning into early evening purple. It is that beautiful moment when day and night touch hands for a few minutes before going their separate ways. I decide not to take the bus. I want to walk home. I step onto the sidewalk, holding my small bag and walking slowly, letting the world move around me. The city at this hour feels different. Not as busy as the morning, not as loud as the afternoon.
Just calm.
Balanced. People move with slower steps. Shops prepare to close. Voices soften. I pass by the bakery again. Mrs. Cole is cleaning the counter inside. She sees me through the window and waves with a warm smile. I wave back. The smell of warm bread is still in the air, mixed with something sweeter, maybe cinnamon or honey. It makes my heart feel warm. A few streets later, I pass the flower stall. Lila is packing up the remaining flowers for the night. She sees the tulip sticking out of my bag and gives me a big smile. I knew you would make it look beautiful, she calls out. Your flowers always do, I answer. She laughs softly, and I continue walking. As I get closer to the central square, I see a small group of street musicians. They're playing a gentle melody, violin, guitar, and a soft drum. The music floats through the square like a warm cloud. People slow down to listen. Some smile. Some close their eyes. Some record the moment on their phones. I stop too. I don't move. I just let the music enter my body. It feels like a deep breath, like the world exhaling gently after a long day. A little girl stands next to me, holding her mother's hand. Mom, she whispers. The music feels like stars. Her mother smiles. Yes, sweetie. Some music does. The little girl closes her eyes and sways gently to the sound. I smile at the small moment, a moment that will stay with her and with me even after we walk away. When the song ends, I place a small coin in the open violin case. The violinist looks up at me and nods gratefully. "Have a peaceful evening," he says. "You too," I reply. I continue walking through the square. The fountain water glows in the evening light, reflecting the soft colors of the sky. Pigeons have mostly disappeared now, replaced by lights from windows and the gentle hum of the city preparing to rest. As I approach my neighborhood, the world becomes quieter again. The streets are smaller, the buildings closer, the air cooler. I pass by Mr. Harris's building. Through the window, I can hear him talking to Daisy, his very dramatic cat. "No, Daisy, you already had dinner," he says firmly. The cat meows loudly, clearly disagreeing. I laugh quietly to myself. Finally, I reach my own building. The familiar scent of old wood and clean floors greets me when I step inside. I climb the stairs slowly, enjoying the feeling of moving upward. When I enter my apartment, everything feels warm and familiar. I turn on a small lamp near the window. Its soft light fills the room gently. I place my bag on the chair and remove the tulip from it. I find a new place for it, on the small table near my bed. The flower stands tall, glowing softly in the warm lamplight. I take off my jacket, hang it carefully, and sit on the edge of my bed. The window is open slightly, and a cool breeze enters the room. This is my favorite part of the day, the quiet moment after coming home. I stand up and walk into the kitchen. I fill a glass with cool water and drink it slowly. Then I place my hands on the counter and just breathe. The day is behind me. The night is waiting, and I feel peaceful. Sometimes people think peace comes from big changes, big events, big decisions. But I think peace lives in moments like this. A quiet apartment, a soft breeze, a warm lamp, a single flower. I walk back to the living room and open the window a little wider. The evening air smells like fresh night, like something new beginning. Across the street, I see another window with a soft light inside. A small shadow moves, someone reading, maybe writing, maybe thinking. The world is full of quiet lives, gentle moments, small stories. And mine is one of them. With that thought, I lie down on the couch and close my eyes for a moment. Not to sleep, just to rest. My breathing slows. My heart softens. My mind opens. And this is where the deeper story of the evening will begin. A moment of reflection, memory, and quiet discovery that I don't even know is coming yet. But it is. And it will change the way I see my life. I stay on the couch for a while with my eyes closed. The room is quiet. No television. No music. Just the soft sound of the city outside my window, a car passing, a door closing, distant voices fading into the night. I open my eyes slowly and look at the ceiling. The light from the small lamp makes a soft circle on the white surface above me. I follow the edges of the light with my eyes, like a child tracing shapes in the sky. For a moment, I feel very small in a very big world, but I also feel held, like the room is a safe box around me. After a few minutes, I sit up and decide to make some tea. Not for the caffeine, just for the warmth. I walk into the kitchen, fill the kettle with water, and place it on the stove. The click of the switch, The gentle beginning of the boil, the small rising sound, all of it feels familiar and comforting. While the water heats, I lean against the counter and let my thoughts move freely. They don't rush. They just walk like I walked this morning in the park. I think about my day at the office, about the meeting, about Mr. Lewis saying we are a team, about Mia and her tired eyes, about my idea that everyone listened to. I also think about the tulip, a single flower, simple,
Red. Alive.
Why does such a small thing make me feel so much? Why does one tulip on my desk change the way I see my day? The kettle begins to sing softly. I pour the hot water into a cup and place a tea bag inside. The steam rises, bringing a gentle herbal smell into the air. I hold the cup between my hands and walk back to the living room. I sit on the floor this time, with my back against the couch, my legs stretched out in front of me. My notebook is on the small table. I reach for it and open it to a blank page. The paper feels clean and full of possibility. I take a pen and write the date at the top. Then I sit for a moment, listening to my own breathing. At first, I don't know what to write. My mind feels full, but the words move slowly. So I start with something simple. Today was a normal day. I look at the sentence. It feels true, but too small. So I continue. Today was a normal day, but I noticed many small things. I pause again. The pen feels warm between my fingers. I write, I saw Mrs. Green on the bench. I smelled bread from the bakery. I watched ducks on the pond. I heard a little girl say that music feels like stars. I put a tulip on my desk. I shared a quiet lunch with Mia. I walked home while the sky turned pink. As I see the words on the page, something inside me softens. The day does not look so normal anymore. It looks full of small stories, full of small pieces of beauty. I take a sip of my tea. The warmth moves down my throat and into my chest. Then, almost without thinking, I write another sentence. Sometimes I am afraid that my life is too small. I stop and look at those words. There it is, the feeling that has been hiding inside me, quiet but heavy. I love my walks. I love my routines. I love my gentle, simple days. But sometimes late at night, a little voice inside me whispers, "Is this enough?" I put the pen down for a moment and place my hand on my heart. I can feel it beating.
Steady. Strong.
Present. I think about other people's lives, people who travel the world, start big projects, change cities often, chase big dreams loudly. Sometimes I compare myself to them, and when I do, I feel small, almost invisible. But tonight, sitting on the floor of my quiet living room with a warm cup of tea and a notebook full of simple sentences, I decide to ask myself a different question. Instead of, is my life big enough? I ask, is my life honest enough? Is it true? Is it mine? I pick up the pen again and write. I want a life that feels true, not just big. The words make my chest feel lighter. I think of my morning ritual, of telling myself, "Good morning, Emma," of writing simple intentions in my notebook, of choosing to walk instead of rush. Maybe my life is not small. Maybe it is just quiet. And maybe quiet is not a weakness. Maybe it is a choice. Suddenly, my phone buzzes on the table. The sound makes me jump a little. I reach for it and see Mia's name on the screen. I answer, "Hey," I say softly. "Hey," she replies. Her voice sounds calmer now. "I just wanted to say thank you for today." "For what?" I ask. "For listening," she says. "For telling me that I don't have to fix everything." I smile, even though she cannot see it. "You don't," I say. "None of us can." There is a short pause. Then she asks, "What are you doing now?" I look around my living room, the lamp, the tulip, the open notebook. "I'm writing," I say. "Just some thoughts about the day." "That sounds nice," she says. "I think I will try that too. Maybe it will help me sleep." "It helps me," I reply. "It makes normal days feel special." She takes a slow breath on the other side of the line. "Emma," she says, "your life is not small, you know." I blink, surprised. "Why do you say that?" I ask. "Because you notice things," she answers. "You see people. You care about details. You remember words and moments that other people forget. That is not small. That is deep." Her words move straight into my heart. I feel my eyes become a little wet. "Thank you," I say quietly. "That means a lot to me." We say goodnight and I put the phone down. The room feels even softer now, filled with the echo of her kindness. I look back at my notebook and write one last sentence for the night. Maybe the size of a life is not measured by loud things, but by how deeply we feel the quiet ones. I close the notebook gently and place it on the table. My tea is almost cold now, but I take one last sip anyway. Then I stand up and walk to the window. Outside, the sky is dark. The city lights shine like stars that have fallen to the ground. Some windows are bright, some are dark. Behind each one, a life is happening, with fears, hopes, questions, and small beautiful moments. I place my hand on the glass and whisper, more to myself than to anyone else. My life is mine, and that is enough for tonight. A soft feeling of peace spreads inside me. Not perfect peace, not permanent peace, but real peace for this moment. And as I turn off the lamp and prepare for bed, I know that this quiet night will stay with me. It is not just another evening. It is a small turning point, a gentle shift in how I see myself. Tomorrow will bring new routines, new thoughts, new details. But tonight, I fall asleep with one clear thought in my heart. I am allowed to live a gentle life. The next morning arrives softly. I open my eyes before the alarm rings. For a moment, I simply lie there, listening to my breathing, feeling the warmth of the blankets around my body. The room is quiet, but not the same quiet as the night before. This quiet feels new. Light. Open. I sit up slowly and stretch my arms. My body feels rested, not heavy. My mind feels clear, not crowded. The first thing I see is the tulip on the small table. Its red petals look even brighter in the early morning light. For some reason, the flower makes me smile. "Good morning," I whisper to it, then add softly, "Good morning, Emma." The simple ritual feels different today, as if the words reach deeper inside me. I stand up, walk to the window, and open it a little wider than usual. A cool breeze flows into the room, carrying the fresh smell of early morning air. I take a deep breath, letting the coolness fill my lungs and slowly leave my body. Outside, the sky is still waking up. Light blue at the top, soft yellow near the horizon. Birds fly by in small groups, making tiny sounds that mix with the gentle hum of the city below. I walk into the kitchen and boil water again for my warm lemon drink. The steam rises in the air, just like last morning, but today I feel more present, more aware of the little things. The sound of the water, the warm cup in my hands, the soft light on the counter. As I sip, I think about last night, the notebook, the quiet thoughts, Mia's words, my own sentence. I am allowed to live a gentle life. I repeat that sentence in my mind now, and it feels true. Not forced, not borrowed, just true. After finishing my drink, I take out my notebook again. I sit at the kitchen table, open it to a new page, and begin writing. Morning thoughts. I am learning to see the beauty in small things. I am learning to trust myself. I am learning to move slowly. I pause. Then I add, I don't need a loud life. I need a real one. A soft wave of peace moves through me. I close the notebook gently and get ready for the day. I take a warm shower. I comb my hair slowly. I choose clothes that feel comfortable, not just pretty. Today, I want softness inside and outside. Before leaving the apartment, I look at the tulip again. The petals seem to open just a little more than yesterday. You're growing, I whisper. Maybe I am too. When I step outside, the street feels different. Not because anything changed, but because I did. The morning is cool, but the sun is rising with a gentle warmth. I begin walking toward the park, the same path as yesterday, but somehow the colors look brighter. As I pass the bakery, Mrs. Cole is setting warm bread on the shelf. Good morning, Emma, she calls with a smile. Good morning, I reply, smiling back. Her smile feels brighter today. Or maybe my eyes are more open to it. A little further down the street, I see Mrs. Green again, sitting on the same bench with her blue sweater. Morning, dear, she says, waving her hand. Good morning, I say as I sit beside her. You look fresh today, she says with a warm laugh, like someone who slept well. I did, I say. I think I needed it. Ah, yes, she nods slowly. Rest can fix half the heart. Her words feel like a gentle blanket placed on my shoulders. We sit together for a few minutes. No rush, no hurry, just two people sharing the quiet morning space. At the park, the sunlight hits the leaves in little patches, like gold dust. The ducks are already swimming across the pond. The wooden bridge looks warm in the early sun. When I walk onto the bridge, I feel something inside me settle. This place, this simple wooden bridge over quiet water, feels like home. I lean on the railing again, just like yesterday, but today my thoughts feel lighter. As I stand there quietly, I hear a small voice behind me. Emma? I turn. It's Maya again, the little girl with mismatched socks and bright eyes.
Maya Ismila.
You're here early. She holds up a small object in her hand. Look, she says proudly. I found a yellow leaf. It looks like the sun. I kneel down to look at it. It's beautiful, I say. It really does look like the sun. She grins and then asks, Why are you smiling today? I blink. The question is so simple, so innocent, but it touches something deep, because I say softly, Today feels gentle. She nods seriously, like, She understands completely. My mom says gentle days are the best days. I smile again. She is very wise. Maya skips back to her mother, holding the yellow leaf over her head like a tiny trophy. I stand there for a moment longer, listening to the water, watching the sunlight on its surface. Then I take a deep breath, slow, long, calm. Something has shifted inside me. Not in a loud way, not in a dramatic way, just a small, quiet shift, like a window opening inside my heart. I walk out of the park feeling steady, not perfect, not transformed, just more myself. And as I continue toward the city, toward work, toward another normal day, I realize something. Sometimes the biggest changes begin in the smallest mornings. The city looks brighter as I walk toward the office. Maybe it is the sunlight. Maybe it is my mood. Maybe it is both. I pass the coffee shop with the red door. The chalkboard outside says, "Today is a good day to breathe." I smile at the simple message. Some days, that is all we need to remember. Inside, the shop is already busy. People wait in line, talking softly, yawning, holding phones, holding bags. But the moment I step inside, the smell of coffee wraps around me like a warm blanket. "Good morning, Emma." Sarah's voice is full of cheerful energy, just like every morning. "Good morning," I say. "You seem awake." "Oh, I'm trying," she laughs. Life doesn't wait for caffeine. I laugh with her. She prepares my usual latte with cinnamon on top. But today, as she places the cup in my hands, she pauses and looks at me. "You look different today," she says gently.
Calmer.
Softer. I blink a little, surprised. "Really?" "Yes," she nods. "It's like you're shining a little." I feel my cheeks warm. I just had a peaceful night. "Well," she says, smiling, "it looks good on you." Her words follow me as I walk toward the office building. They settle somewhere inside me, warm and steady. When I enter the office, the energy is different from yesterday. Not better, not worse, just different. People move quickly, papers shuffle, phones ring. But I feel slow.
Calm.
Grounded. The tulip on my desk looks a little more open today, a little more alive. I touch the stem gently and whisper, "Hello again." I sit down and begin working. Emails, reports, small tasks. But something is different today. My mind doesn't rush. My thoughts don't jump. Each task feels like a simple step, not a heavy mountain. After a while, Mia comes to my desk. "Morning," she says softly. I turn toward her. "Morning." She studies my face for a second. "Emma, are you okay?" "You look." She searches for the right word. "Peaceful." I laugh lightly. That's what Sarah said too. "Well," Mia smiles. "Then it must be true." She sits on the edge of my desk and takes a small breath. "I wrote in my notebook last night," she says. "You inspired me." "That makes me happy," I say.
It helped, she adds.
I let out thoughts I didn't know were inside me. "I understand," I reply. That's exactly how I felt. We talk quietly for a few minutes. Nothing dramatic, nothing heavy, just soft sharing between friends. Then she returns to her desk, and I continue working. Hours pass. People talk, type, laugh, sigh. The day moves in a slow, steady rhythm. Around noon, we have another small meeting. Everyone sits around the large table again. Our manager, Mr. Lewis, explains a new project. People take notes. Some nod. Some frown. I stay focused, calm. After the meeting, Mr. Lewis walks over to me. "Emma," he says, "your idea yesterday was very helpful. I'd like you to work on that part of the project." I feel a small moment of surprise.
Me?
Usually I stay in the background. "I think you understand the details better than most people," he continues. "And you notice things others don't." His words sink into me slowly, like warm tea spreading through my body. "Thank you," I say softly. "I'll do my best." "I know you will," he says with a reassuring smile. After he leaves, I sit down at my desk and take a deep breath. The tulip's red petals seem to shine more brightly at that moment, almost like it is proud of me. As I begin working on the new project, I notice something surprising. I don't feel nervous. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel small.
I feel ready.
The afternoon light begins to change. People around me speak less. The office grows quieter. The soft hum of computers fills the room. Suddenly, in the middle of typing, a thought rises inside me, clear and gentle. I am growing, not loudly, not quickly, not like a fire, but like a tulip opening, slowly, quietly, naturally. I lean back in my chair and place my hand on my chest. My heart feels warm,
Steady. Alive.
For so long, I believed my life was small, but now I see something different. My life is full of quiet moments that shape me, small conversations that teach me, soft days that heal me, simple routines that hold me. My life may be gentle, but it is growing all the time. I return to my work with a soft smile. The afternoon moves forward. The light fades. People begin packing their bags. And as I close my laptop, I feel something I haven't felt in a long time.
Pride.
Not for something big I did, but for who I am becoming. A quiet heart, a gentle soul, a small life with deep meaning. And as the day ends, I know something important is waiting for me in the evening, a moment that will bring the whole journey together. When I leave the office, the sky is already changing into evening colors. Soft purple, light orange, a little gold near the horizon. It looks like someone painted the sky with calm hands. I step outside and take a slow breath. My body feels tired, but in a peaceful way, the kind of tiredness that comes after a meaningful day, not a heavy one. The air is cool. I pull my jacket around me and start walking. Not fast. Not with purpose. Just walking, letting the day fall off my shoulders. I pass the flower stall again. Lila is already closing. When she sees me, she lifts her hand with a warm smile. "How was your day?" she asks. "It was good," I say slowly. "It was gentle." She nods, as if she understands exactly what I mean. "Gentle days make strong hearts," she says. I smile. Her words feel like a small gift. As I continue toward the park, I notice the world becoming quieter. People are going home. Shops are closing. Lights are turning on in windows, small squares of warm yellow. I enter the park and walk toward the wooden bridge again. The same one where I stood yesterday morning, and again this morning. The pond is calm, almost still. The sky's colors reflect on the water like a soft mirror. I lean on the railing and watch the ducks slowly move across the surface. Their movements are gentle, almost sleepy. A breeze touches my hair,
Just a small one.
enough to remind me I'm alive. I close my eyes for a moment and let everything inside me fall into quiet. The sounds of the day, the thoughts from the morning, the words from Mia, the small confidence from work, the feeling of growing quietly. All of it melts into a soft, deep warmth inside my chest. When I open my eyes again, the world feels different, not changed, just clearer. I whisper to myself, almost without thinking, I am allowed to live slowly. I am allowed to be gentle. I am allowed to grow without noise. The words feel true in a way I never felt before. For so long, I thought I needed a louder life, a bigger life, a more dramatic life. But standing here, with the calm water below me and the quiet sky above me, I finally understand. My life is not small. It is quiet, and quiet things can be very deep. I think of the tulip on my desk, how it opened slowly today, how it grew without anyone watching, how it stood bright and strong without making a sound. Maybe I am like that tulip, growing quietly, opening slowly, becoming myself at my own pace. I take one last long breath at the bridge, letting the cool air fill my lungs. Then I leave the park and walk home. When I enter my apartment, the room is dark. I turn on the lamp, and the soft light makes everything warm again. The tulip glows gently in the corner. Its petals look a little fuller, a little more open. I walk over to it and touch the edge of one petal with my fingertip. "Thank you," I whisper. Not to the flower, not to the day, to myself. For listening, for slowing down, for growing quietly. I sit on the bed, take my notebook, and write. Today I learned that peace is not empty. It is full, full of soft moments, full of gentle truths, full of quiet growth. My handwriting is slower tonight, calmer. I close the notebook and place it back on the table. Before sleeping, I stand by the window again. The night sky is deep and blue. A few stars shine above the buildings. Somewhere far away, someone is laughing.
Somewhere else, someone is crying.
Somewhere else, someone is dreaming. And here I am, just breathing,
Just being.
just living my quiet life. And for the first time in a long time, I know that it is enough. I whisper softly into the night. I am growing, even when I don't see it. And the night, in its silent way, seems to whisper back, "You are." I turn off the light, lie down in my bed, and let sleep take me gently. Not with noise, not with fear, but with a soft, warm feeling in my heart. My life is quiet, but it is mine, and that is the most beautiful thing of all. Thank you for spending this gentle story with me, and thank you for listening, not with pressure or fear, but with an open heart. Every time you listen, you take one more small step forward in your English journey, even if you don't see it yet. Learning a language is not a race. It is not a fast road. It is a slow walk, just like the quiet mornings in our story. With every word you hear, every sentence you understand, you grow quietly, naturally, in your own rhythm. Remember this. You do not need to be perfect.
You do not need to speak fast.
You do not need to understand everything. You only need to keep listening, keep showing up, Keep giving yourself time. Your mind learns even when you think it doesn't. Your heart remembers even when it feels slow. And your English improves every time you return. So if you enjoyed this story, stay with us for the next one. There will always be another gentle moment, another calm voice, another chance to practice without stress. Subscribe to the channel, listen again when you want peace, and come back whenever you need a soft place to learn. Every time you listen, learning becomes easier.